I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
The partnership with AMD has been great. In Far Cry 6, the team has built the most ambitious open world in franchise history, filled with lush tropical environments and decaying urban landscapes. To push the visual fidelity of our game and immersive gaming experience, we've been collaborating with AMD to implement next-gen rendering techniques like DirectX ray tracing and AMD Fidelity Effects features. When implementing these next-gen features, we were challenged because we want the majority of players to have an enjoyable, smooth experience without having to turn their settings down. Using upscaling technology like AMD Fidelity Effects Super Resolution helps us address this problem because it means more players can enjoy Far Cry 6 with their graphic settings cranked up and without compromising frame rate. FSR is a cutting-edge spatial upscaling solution. It's easy to integrate into our development pipeline, and it delivers substantial performance boost while retaining excellent image quality on the highest quality setting. Additionally, we believe AMD's GPU Open and the support for open standards and platforms drive innovation forward. We can't wait until October 7th when players will finally get the chance to see all the hard work we've put into Far Cry 6. It's very exciting that we're getting closer to showcasing to players the game, powered by the latest AMD technologies.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Esports Club Challenger Series 1 third place decider match, supported by Ubisoft, here with their hosts, Blackjack and Baba Gusta, bright and early today, as it is now 11:07 a.m. on my clock on the computer right there, as we are waiting for the match to start up. It's a third place best of 3 match. That is to say, the losers of semifinals 1 and 2 are here to duke it out to see who gets a slightly larger share of the prize pool on the third place spot. Is it going to be Monkey Hunters LFO, or is it going to be Kira Esports? You heard that right, folks. Monkey Hunters lost yesterday in the second semifinals against High Five, and now they find themselves here in the third place decider match. Kira Esports, they had a very unfortunate situation yesterday. We'd rather not talk too much about it. Here they are, as they will want to put themselves, redeem themselves just a little bit and give themselves the third place. So it will be a pretty interesting fight. And I know that a lot of our viewers are going to be waiting for the grand finals itself. Don't worry, folks. That will be later today as well. From what I've heard, somewhere around 4 p.m. in a second stream dedicated to the finals itself, which should be an amazing time. But before that, I think the most pertinent question of the day, Baba Gusta, how are you doing on this fine morning?
Well, I'm doing great, Jack, and talk about the third place match that we're going to be casting about Kira Esports versus Monkey Hunters. I mean, we had to determine who was going to be on third place, and yeah, again, very unfortunate plays. Very unfortunate day for Kira Esports that they didn't had a chance to properly go up against MRCZ. We had to start it in a 4v4. We had so many issues, major issues regarding connectivity and power cuts for Kira Esports. Unfortunate, and they've decided to just forfeit the match, and unfortunate that they had to go in for a third place decider. And the same, I wouldn't say the same thing to Monkey Hunters though, because they went against High Five. It was on decider, and High Five made a miraculous comeback on map Clubhouse. Second half defense. Suddenly, we saw Monkey Hunters shattered their attack in second half, and now they are going up against Kira Esports on the third place decider to figure out who will get the spot in the third place. So talk about the map bans, or should I say the match that we're going to be looking at right now, Monkey Hunters versus Kira LFO, which is going to be on 11 a.m., and the other match, which is our our grand finale, starting off at 4 in the evening, which would be MRCZ going up against Team High Five. Definitely that's a new story that I have to talk about for my entire team. Like if I had a grandson or a granddaughter to be talking about, but still very excited for the grand finale. We're very excited for, I'm very happy for High Five that they did get the spot for the grand finals going up against MRCZ. But we have to figure out who will be in the third place. Is it going to be Monkey Hunters, or is it going to be Kira Esports? And talking about these two teams, they are the best of the best in the South APAC region. So definitely we're going to have some interesting best of 3 match that are going to be seeing right about now. So how about we just go ahead and talk about the map bans and see what kind of maps we'll be seeing from these two teams.
That we shall right now. In fact, Villa, Clubhouse, and Chalet, folks. Oregon band once again. Color me a happy caster. As Monkey Hunters have picked Villa, they'll be going attack first there. Interesting fact about today's match, actually. Monkey Hunters are attacking on all 3 maps. That is correct. They are attacking on Villa, they are attacking on a Clubhouse, which is a Kira Esports pick, and then they are attacking on the decider map, that is Chalet as well. We all know Chalet, attacker sided, being attack first is a good idea there, but Villa attack first, Clubhouse attack first. Both are defender sided maps. Villa more so than Clubhouse. I think we can all agree on that. I'm not sure about that right there, but they might have something to say about, the overall playstyle that Monkey Hunters is slowly adopting. And one thing that is for sure is that Monkey Hunters have sort of, they've been looking at it in a way where they're thinking more about the second half, I think, these days, over the first half. Whenever they pick, whenever they get the side pick on whether they go attack first or defense first. They like to go attack first, even if it's a defender sided map. Not all the time, though, sometimes. And whenever they do, it's always a case of them trying to take that second half defender sided advantage and really swing the match their way. Unless, of course, they just win out the first half by attacking relentlessly, which has happened before as well. So, all things considered, I'm interested to see how Monkey Hunters approaches Villa, especially given that it is Kid Esports that they are facing, runners up of Stage 2 South Asian Nationals, and now who are looking for Stage 3 to go their way as well. We're not in Stage 3 just yet, folks. We will be relatively soon. Actually, I believe Challenger Series 2 will see us already in Stage 3, if I'm not wrong, because the current in game Battle Pass is actually set to end, I think, tomorrow itself. So, tomorrow being Monday, that is. So, that will mean, it opens up Tuesday or Wednesday for the patch drop for Crystal Guard. If, of course, if of course our overlords want the siege gods want that to be the case. But regardless, enough speculation about when the patch drops and when it doesn't. It's probably out there, the date, and I can't remember it off the top of my head because it's a wee bit early for both of us here. It's a Sunday and all of that. Our bodies are just naturally acclimated to waking up at, like, I don't know, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And here we are at 11. So if we sound a little slow early, just like how Kita Esports likes to take a while to start up, we might actually need to take a while to start up today as well, despite the fact that we did our vocal exercises before getting here. At least that's why, I can somewhat sound like I know what I'm talking about, folks. As right now, all we are waiting for is Kita Esports to, get their final player in, and then we can get started on Villa, map 1 for this third place decider. And on the meanwhile, of course, Monkey Hunters LFO, punctual as always, have all of their players in the lobby. And I'm pretty excited to see, like I said, how they go about attacking on Villa, which is one of the maps that they have, played on pretty well, all things considered. It's been one of the maps they've been somewhat more dominant on, if you will. But again, that will be called into question as their opponents are Kid Esports. So, Baba, question for you. Given everything we know and everything we've seen in Challenger Series 1 from Monkey Hunters, from Kira, and the fact that the map is Villa, with all of that context in hand, what do you think we're going to be looking forward to?
Well, I'd be saying that if Monkey Hunters do make a really good start on map Villa, since it is Monkey Hunters' pick in the in the first map, I'd say that Kira Esports will be even more confident on map Clubhouse, and there is highly likely a chance we might be able to see Decider map be brought up, map Chalet. But yeah, since we are talking about prediction wise, I'd say that Monkey Hunters, they can still win a chance unless and until if they keep it going, because last time I remember in the previous matchup against Team High 5, the decider map didn't favor Monkey Hunters a lot, and there was something that was not even letting Monkey Hunters progress forward. So it is quite concerning for me to see what is what is happening in the team between Monkey Hunters. But other than that, I'd say Kira Esports shouldn't be in much of a problem, because uh, they can handle it pretty well, both on attack as well as on defense. You have Envy, who can take care of those important stuff. He's been fragging quite a lot for Team Kira Esports. But although I am very interested to see Envy going up against Chitri, because that is an amazing frag match that I would love to see over and over again. But yeah, currently we're just waiting for the players to come in. I believe we are just waiting for one player on the side of Kira Esports to join in. Monkey Hunters, all of them are in. They're just waiting for their teammates to arrive, and slowly but surely we can just enter in with the matchup. It is just, it's been a while, so I wouldn't say it's been a while. I'd say it's quite unfortunate that Kira Esports couldn't get to have a good fair match against MRCZ. If that happened on semi-finals, man, that would have been so good. Who knows? Maybe we would have seen Kira Esports get into the grand finals, go up against High Five. But it didn't happen. MRCZ, MRCZ was pretty bummed about this. MRCZ was like, it would have been better if Kira Esports or MRCZ themselves had had a very good 5v5 matchup so that they can have a good best of three. Unfortunately, it did not happen. And now it's just, what's done is done. We can't do anything much more about it. It's just, it's just unlucky at this point.
I mean, yeah, that it was. But speak of Envy, he has joined the lobby as the fifth player from Kira Sports sides. So now all we need is the ready confirmation, folks, and we can go right in to this match. And we're going to do it relatively quickly because the lobby timer is slowly running out. And yeah, we all know what happens when that happens. Another full rehost and a big delay and all that stuff. None of that. We don't want none of that here. As Jittery has confirmed that Monkey Hunters are in fact ready. Just Kira Esports, they need to give us that ready confirmation nice and quickly, boys. Now, we've had these issues yesterday. Let's not repeat them today, if you will. Even though, of course, yesterday wasn't anyone's fault. There we go. The ready confirmation is in. And that means we will be going live with the full match, starting with Villa map number 1 between Monkey Hunters and Kira Esports in this third place decider best of 3 match. So without further delay, let us get right into the ban phase, folks. So live on your screens right now as we move into the first ban of the day. Kira Esports have their first ban, on Villa, and they are defense first, of course, so that is how that generally goes. And I'm looking at a potential Thatcher ban again. Yep, there we go. Easiest call in the world, as Thatcher will get to, I guess he'll get to catch a nap on the benches. I mean, being awake this early probably isn't too good for him, or is it? I don't know. Is waking up super early? I say super early simply because I'm not usually awake at this time. But yeah, Thatcher's going to be banned from the side of Kira Esports. Monkey Hunters on the other side will decide to ban the Jackal. Okay. Jackal, of course, is pretty good on the anti-roam and pretty good on just, hunting down roamers, lurkers, and even causing problems for people inside a site. So with him gone, it'll be harder to catch the roamers. I think it's more of a case of Monkey Hunters probably want to play Nomad. Nomad is generally the preferred second ban on Villa. Nomad, Flores, ops like those. And that's why they ban the Jackal, because they're like, okay, we don't really usually, play Jackal much anyway. So might as well get rid of him and have the better ops available for us. Goyo will be banned on the other side. Goyo has been a force to be reckoned with, despite the fact that he lost his third shield some time ago, and a few other changes that were made / are going to be made to him. But regardless, those 2 deployable shields, flammable as they are, with enough protection, are still ridiculously strong. And on the other side, Valkyrie will be banned by the side of Kira Esports. They don't want to use that information potential, because if they use it, that means Monkey Hunters will have the opening to use Valkyrie as well. And Kira Esports don't want to take that risk. Valkyrie is simply that good. Ban phase has been taken care of. Thatcher, Jackal, Goyo, and Valkyrie are the ones to be banned today. And with that, let us have a look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Monkey Hunters LFO, we've got Jittery, Sandy, Beat, Sparko, and Rattler. And from the side of Kira Esports, we've got a Turv, Rhymes with Bug, Deathammer, Boku, I believe that is, or BXKU, I guess, and Envy. As a second floor aviator and games room is going to be the side of choice. Round 1 is about to be underway with a couple of 6-picks. There we go. The Flores is brought in, and the 200 IQ 6-pick right there of the mute into the mute. As the first round is now underway, and I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Babagusta, take it away.
Thank you for that, Jack. And there you have it. Best of 3. Third place decider map. It will be on Villa. Starting off, you'll see Monkey Hunters on attack, Kira Esports on defense. And the site that they will be defending is going to be none other than second floor aviator and games room. Talk about Kira Esports. Currently, we shouldn't have any problems as of now. It's looking good. Kira Esports is prepped and ready. So does the players on the side of Team Monkey Hunters. Now all we are waiting is just the attackers spawned in from their respective spawn sites and slowly making their way in towards the building. My huge guess is that they will be spawned in towards Fountain. And actually, I was a bit right. Sparkle is the only one who spawned in towards the Fountain, and with the other three players spawned in towards Ruins. One, which is Sandy, who will be spawning from the main entrance, who is mainly, slowly making his way to try to rappel in towards the window. And Jittery definitely not wasting any time at all as he tries to get an instant access right from that entrance. And look at that, the first kill will come in from Death Armor, taking out Sandy while he was going in for a run out. That run out got immediately denied in the hands of Jittery. The carnage still continues from a third as he takes out Rattler. 3v4. Skira Esports has the upper hand.
Oh, that's a trade right there. Just as Baba passes off to me, but Sparkle comes in to find Envy as well. Big drops right now happening from all sides, but that was a big kill on the Envy and a much needed one as that, him on the roam as the Jaeger at that too would have been incredibly hard to deal with if Beat and Sparko had gone in and found themselves, unfortunately, vulnerable to that Jaeger play. That will not be the case, of course, leaving Rhymes with Buck and Boku as the SAS brothers on the defense inside of sight as the last ones standing. They're just waiting right now for Beat and Sparko, to come in, do their work, get themselves in, try to at the very least. As in the meanwhile, Sparko has already set up his Argus cams, 2 of them at the very least, to watch for any late flanks. I say late flanks, there's still a minute 20 on the clock, folks. Third Argus cam goes out, but that will be seen and taken down by Rhymes with Buck, and that's his position given away. Flashbangs are going to be flying towards him any second now, as the Hibana is on the desk trying to find the head, but no. Unfortunately, the angle just was not there as the Mute in the meanwhile prepares a, just a C4 toss from the top of the vault wall. And Beat's got to be so careful of that. Sparkle and Beat are kind of confused as to where to go. They're deciding, do they want to go from Vault? Do they want to risk the breach? Do they want to go in from Aviator? Or do they want to rush into Games Room? Oh, dear me. Beat has to be careful of the vertical angle. Rhymes with Buck hasn't seen him just yet. He's right there for the final few pixels, but no. Beat will take a bit of damage, but unfortunately it is not enough. And there we go. Gas grenade goes out at a much needed time, but Beat is still alive. Prone peek from the Sam Fisher. Is it going to be seen? Yes, it is. Sparko is down, and now it's all up to the Hibana. It won't be. Boku finds that with the SMG that he has. And that's going to be the first round for the side of Kira Esports. Well held right towards the end. And that, of course, is going to be exactly what Kira Esports needs. Monkey Hunters, unfortunately, falling apart just a little too early in the round to do much about the situation at hand. And, of course, they ended up getting, they ended up losing the round as a result. 1-0 as we start off with Kira Esports already with a good start. Their first round, and round 2 is underway.
Well, I'd say that some huge aggressive early picks there coming in from Kira Esports, especially that Death Armor. Just picked off Sandy while he was, I believe, he was either repelled in towards the windows of 90, right from the 90s hallway. And when Death Armor went in for that immediate run out, Jittery immediately went back. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say immediately went back. He was right at the windows of the piano, where he was trying to hold an angle in towards the hatch, and then realized what exactly happened. He took out Death Armor, but the main thing that they couldn't get to deal most of those players would be none other than Atharv, bringing in the Wamai's AUG. Now that assault rifle is so powerful and so deadly in the hands of the defenders. All you had to do is just wait for that perfect moment, and when the attackers come in from their sights, you get such good picks coming in from them. But that is definitely going to put Monkey Hunters in a bit of a pickle, because that first round, with that good recovery that Kira Esports made in a 2v2 equalizer, is going to put themselves in a very big spot when it comes to confidence and motivation. The main problem for Monkey Hunters is that they have to worry about the roamers. That roamers is none other than either Death Armor or Atharv. And just as I was talking about it, we see Death Armor taking out Sparko. Big drop as Zero has taken care of. No more of those Argus cams, which would give them so much information backhand, and also the roamers who don't have to worry about constantly being watched from those cams. So it is it is a good sigh of relief for Kira Esports, but it's definitely not on the hands of Monkey Hunters. As talking about Jittery, he's been taking quite a lot of damage with the SMG 11, I believe. Looks like he will win the gunfight nonetheless. Jittery, a beautiful headshot to take out Envy, who was, I believe, trying to contest that particular angle. Not quite sure what exactly what exactly is going on at this point, because we've seen most of the pushes from Kira Esports. Like, I wouldn't say pushes, the push from Monkey Hunters. They're mainly concerned about pushing in towards second floor master bedroom, as you see one of the players from first floor dining right from below to try to take out any important utilities in towards statuary room. And Atharv will see this. He has to take care of those two players, but how will he proceed? He has to be dealt with the drones. He has to deal with two of the players holding the angle right in towards the dining room, and also they have to worry about time, in which Sandy is definitely not wasting any time to get that control from the astronomy stairs. And now they have to figure out a way to get that kill. Beautiful pre-fire to take out Sandy. As we see, it's a 3v4.
Make that a 3v3 as Jittery comes in with the refrag. And oh, there we go. The prone inside of the bathtub works out for the Jaeger with the M870. Will there be another kill? No, not quite. Ramsburg does deal a little bit of damage. Deathhammer finds Jittery, and now it's a 1v3. All down to beat. Even more SMG 11 damage coming his way. Can he get the smoke? No, not quite. Ramsburg is now low on HP. That is something, I guess. Two of the defenders are low. That is something that Beat can take full advantage of, but he is also low on HP. And, well, all right, looks like Rhymes with Buck will be the one to finish him off at the end of it all. Just a couple of quick peeks right there, and that is going to finish off the round. Beautiful shot, I must say, from Rhymes with Buck. And Monkey Hunters looking a little rustic, looking a little like, they might take a little while to start up right here. Some of the decision-making I wasn't really a fan of that they were doing up on the push that they were trying to make up astronomy on inside of bedroom. Not exactly the best, if you will, from Monkey Hunters that we expect to see. But again, only 2 rounds have passed. Kira Esports are 2-0 up. A good lead to be sure, but there is more to be had for this defensive team right now. As a couple of 6 picks come in, Rattler will go into the Buck out of the Nomad. And I believe that was the Jaeger being 6-picked in from the side of the defense. Rhymes with Buck bringing in the German defender. As I forgot exactly who he had picked beforehand, but I guess it doesn't matter now. The Jaeger will always be extremely important for defenders, just simply because of the kind of utility that he brings, or more specifically, the kind of utility denial that he brings, which allows Monkey Hunters, doesn't allow, attacking teams like Monkey Hunters to use their utilities, their throwables. And, well, once we get into the action phase, we'll see exactly, how many throwables will be in the hands of Monkey Hunters. You can already tell, 4 from Sandy, 3 from Beat, there we go, 3 more from Rattler, 2 from Jittery. Anybody do the maths down in the chat or something? That's a lot of throwables. Even Jaeger can't really keep up with them. Not even Jaeger with my combos, but Wamai definitely helps alleviate it just a little bit more. Interestingly enough, I'm seeing the castle with a shotgun. Not sure if I'm a fan of this decision, but then again, Boku has been playing the shotgun for this, has been playing the shotgun for the last couple of rounds, and as we saw in the previous round, that bathtub strat actually worked out, so you never really know, as Monkey Hunters once again are on the drone.
I mean, there's always that surprise element going on between Boku. I mean, the shotgun, and that too, it's an XM shotgun. I'm gonna be even more surprised if Boku had a secondary shotgun in hand too. That would have been
double shotgun.
Yeah,
oh, that would have been meme-worthy. That would have been meme-worthy.
Like, what's even more meme-worthy is that you dual wield both of the shotguns in hand.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's going to be
Imagine
more
an operator
amazing.
who can
Yeah.
dual wield their primary and secondary. That would be crazy.
That would have been even more like that. That will be so amazing, dude.
I
I
know,
mean,
right?
like dual wielding any weapon, but still, when it comes to accuracy wise, it's really not that good. So you have to
You
be
never
careful of
know.
accuracy, when it comes to a dual wielding gun. But talking about Rattler, though, he made a six pick switching up from the Nomad to the Buck because he wants to have that vertical control, being opened up as fast as possible. Because on like when you open up vertical line of sight with either a breach charge or a Ash's breach charge, it would take quite significant amount of time to be opened up, whereas if you see Buck's skeleton key, you can just immediately open up that vertical line of sight where it can get good angles, and also like it will be done in a mere 2 to 3 seconds, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. But I'd say the problem will come in for Kira Esports, though, because Sandy just found an early pick that would be rhymes with Buck. And also, oh
Oh,
my goodness, what a shot from Sandy, taking out Envy. And guess what? They have the entrance in towards the side. A
oh,
triple for Sandy to take out a Thurv. The last player is none other than Death Amar, who's going to be dealt with his Pete and Roni. The push will come in. Will he see a denial? No, we don't. As Pete comes in to take out Death Amar, as we will see Monkey Hunters win first floor dining kitchen. What a push from Sandy. What a peek from Sandy right from the main stairs. He was actually in towards astronomy. He opened up the hatch. He saw Jaeger right from the pantry stairs. He took out one. He dropped down. Saw the other. A beautiful one tap. And we all know what exactly happened next at round three. First for dining kitchen. Definitely what Kira Esports will not pick that side yet again, and they'll mainly be focusing on trying to get good wins on second floor AVG trophy and Statuarium, because that will be their main focus. And now talk about round four. I believe the site will be the same, second floor aviator and games room, but an interesting six pick will come in as they switch in from the Capitao to the Ying. And I believe that a rush is in order.
sorry about that, folks. Was busy drinking water, but yeah. All right then. A rush is what you are predicting, Baba. Looking at the fact that Rattler has in fact brought out the Ying, there's a chance. But I feel like, they might not go for a rush as well. Knowing Monkey Hunters, it's a 50-50 between, between either rushing or not rushing. It's like when if we win this 50-50, then folks, we will be very happy about this, of course. There's no prizes for predictions, of course, but we like to keep up a little bit of a thing. There's just to spice things up in the commentary here. Can we get our predictions right? And surprisingly enough, back in the Pro League days, Baba and I used to get a lot of predictions wrong. But in the Challenger Series so far, quite a few of our predictions have actually ended up coming true. Now, I'm not sure if there's some sort of divine providence happening around us, but as they say, it's all a 50-50 at the end of the day. As we have Boku once again with the shotgun, but this time, of course, he's going to have the SMG-11 to boot because he is an SAS operator. One of the ones on the defense, because as soon as Crystal Guard drops, the only SMG-11s for the SAS folks will be on the defense, and attack SMG-11 will only be for Amaru. Sad days for Sledge mains, but then again, Sledge still has tons of use, out of his grenades, out of his primary, and the, SAS secondary pistol isn't exactly that bad, but it just gets overshadowed by that insane SMG-11 that they tend to have. Regardless, we're going to have Sandy coming up towards the bedroom balcony just to clear out roamers as, all right, we already have the Candelas going out. And a Turv, oh dear me, he's been flashed, but Envy's here for cover. That is going to be huge. He's found Jittery in the meanwhile, as it's now 4v5, 4v4, because a Turv is still down.
Yeah, not looking too good though for Monkey Hunters. Even with the Candelas being thrown out from Rattler, even downing a Thurv right from that main stairs, we see Jittery taken care of, and now it is all going down for Rattler and Pete, who has to put this match back around. Talk about the side being on second floor, ABG and Envy making an impressive play. He needs to be worried about the players of Monkey Hunters, who are slowly making their way in towards the landing zone. And Sparko, the in-game leader for Monkey Hunters, able to use his Argus cams to disable the Surya gates and place one more for information right from the red stairs. And that would give good information if one of the particular defenders do make a decision of falling back. And Envy made a grave mistake of falling back because he forgot to see Pete, who was holding in a vertical, a inverted rappel, almost picking out one of the players. But we see Rattler get one more kill, and that would be Death Armor. Quite a difficult stuff that we have to see through here. We talk about time for Monkey Hunters. They only have 20 seconds, so the execution will come in nonetheless. They're in towards second floor aviator room as Rattler drops the diffuser, and Sandy needs to figure out a way to get all of these 3 kills. He will get one. Rhymes with Buck goes down, and so does Envy as Sparko sprints around towards the side. Boku is still alive and kicking. The plant will come in from Sandy, and so does the push. They have the information, but it's too late. Beat will be there for the protection right from the hallway. Make sure we will see Monkey Hunters win their attack round on second floor aviator and games room. And talk about Rattler, who just went very aggressive right in towards the vault room. Not quite sure exactly what Monkey Hunters were thinking of. I believe they mainly decided to go in for the frags rather than going in for the plant. And they were, I believe they nearly went in for, they went in for the frag because they were quite much, worried about the SMG 11 players, Rhymes with Buck and Boku, who've been performing excellently well on a site like second floor AVG. So obviously they were mainly focused on removing those players first, because if they don't, if Monkey Hunters do go in post plant, then how will you go up against these two dangerous players on the side of Kira
Attackers need to
Esports?
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Overall, what I'm seeing from Monkey Hunters is, early round they might not still be all there per se. Kira Esports still were able to, even if only barely, keep themselves ahead of the curve. But Monkey Hunters, ended up taking quite a few bodies on the final execute, thanks to, of course, Sparko and Jittery just finding players left and right. That LMG from Jittery has just been working overtime. Sometimes you see Sandy bring in, of course, the Zofia LMG as well. It looks like that is a role shared between those two, and both of them are almost equally destructive on that role as well. It's just insane to me how good these guys are when it comes to bringing in a gun that was, usually considered not so great before, of course, the M762 ended up getting nerfed into what seems like oblivion. But then again, regarding recent test server changes, we might actually see the M762 come back. Not as much as it used to be, mind you. The horizontal kick is the one that's been reduced. Vertically speaking, it is still climbing quite high, but less so than it is currently in the live build. As right now, we're just going to have Monkey Hunters once again, early round stuff. But, Rattler's not going to be settling for early round stuff. He's going to find a big pick, and that is a big one, just like I said. Death Armor off the board. That is a Rooney gone, and Kid Esports have a bit of an early disadvantage.
Bomb located by
This
attackers.
is the second time Death Hammer has been picked out. The second, when I say second, it was on previous round on second floor AVG. Try to went. I believe he tried to go in for an aggressive, spawn peek. Unfortunately, that did not happen. That's going to put Monkey Hunters in a good mood. Knowing that Sparko's Argus cams will give so much information if there is a rotate coming in from the defenders. And talk about Kira Esports' positionings. They're not thinking of going for a flank. They're just waiting for the attackers to make their push into a statuary and trophy. Looks like one of the grenades will arrive right from below the first floor dining room. How will they deal this one specific utility, knowing that the attackers are slowly making their way into a statuary room and another grenade will come in? I believe it will succeed, taking out that deployable shield, and another kill from Rattler, who's going to take out Envy. Here comes Ryan with Buck to immediately go in for that equalizer. Rattler goes down. The huge damage has been mainly done, and look at the Argus. Downing Rhymes with Buck. Oh boy. Oh, so unfortunate. Sparko, good use of the Argus cams to deal damage to him. knowing that he was so low on HP, and Sparko will continue with yet another kill taking out a third. Spoku will be the last man standing. He needs to find 3 players. He will get one, but instantly gets refragged from Sam Fisher himself. And with it, we will see Monkey Hunters win round 5. Second floor trophy and statuary room. Good use of the Argus cams to down the smoke. I believe they had the information saying that he dealt good amount of damage, and all he had to do was just, just shoot the laser and get that kill. Man, Kira Esports, the ones who had good advantage in the first 2 rounds, second floor aviator and trophy room, suddenly we see Monkey Hunter starts to fling back, winning dining, aviator, and trophy all at the same time. What exactly happened to Kira Esports this time?
I think it's more of a case of they're getting outplayed by Monkey Hunters' attack, generally speaking. And I will say that sometimes, at least in the previous round that we just saw on Trophy Statuary, a couple of the peaks from Kira Sports that we saw on cam were a little over aggressive, maybe, overreaching just a bit for that one kill, for that trade back, rather than letting, someone else who probably had a better position or was going to be in a better position take care of it accordingly. Because when you really look at it, Monkey Hunters didn't do too much different from what they generally do on Trophy Statuary, right? When it comes to them on Trophy Statuary, unless they need to change things up and do something drastic, they usually go either bedroom and astronomy stairs, all in on those pushes, some folks from bathroom as well, or bedroom and the main red stairs landing / 90 hallway. And we saw that the latter push in this round, right? They came in from the Aviator Games Room side, 90 hallway, in towards those people would, of course, be in towards the trophy room. And then you had the bedroom and the branch from the Red Stairs Landing coming in towards Statuary. That is generally a good push. It's a push that a lot of teams usually go for when they're just feeling things out, or, they know that they don't have to do anything too drastic on Villa just yet. But unfortunately, Kira Esports, I feel like we're reaching just a little bit too far ahead, trying to get the round for themselves, but just couldn't quite get themselves in a position where they would be able to trade it back. And it's a little unfortunate. They still had 4 players. Maybe one could have gone out for a flank in the mid-late round or something along those lines. Maybe somebody from Trophy could have tried to go for an aggressive push up or peak. Maybe that could have worked. We don't really know. We're just speculating, of course. But overall, I think it's a case of Kira Sports just makes like one mistake or maybe an early drop from their side, and Monkey Hunters just goes all in on that. And, well, there's not a whole lot you can do if an Argus cam laser just manages to down you, just because you had exactly 5 HP. I'm fairly certain that's what Ramseybuck had, right? Because that laser only deals 5 damage, or 5 or 3 damage, something like that. Like, he just had to have anywhere under 3 HP, and the down would have happened anyway. But regardless, folks, the round was still won by Monkey Hunters, and we'll be going right back into the match, as it is now 3-2. And like I said, Kira Sports, whenever they make a mistake or whenever they try and reach a little too hard, Monkey Hunters takes the round. But that's not to say that Kira Sports have not been doing their own good work as well. They have. And a couple of rounds that we've seen from them have been pretty decent on the defense, patient as need be. And that, of course, generally works wonders for any defensive team on this map. With all that being said, round 6 is now underway, the last round of the half, as Monkey Hunters look to go 4-2 up, giving themselves advantage going into defense on Villa. Kira Sports want and need to equalize for a better chance in this match.
I'll not even mention that Amar, who was quite getting picked out for the past 3 rounds. Except on first floor dining and kitchen, though. Second floor aviator games, trophy and statuary room, where the 2 rounds where Death Amar got picked off quite fast. And this time, he's made a decision to go in for the 6 pick, switching it out from the Aruni to the Mozzie, which means we'll see some drone denial, intel denial from Monkey Hunters, and they definitely would need that. because they have zero with the Argus scans. They even have, good, huge usage of the attack drones, total 10 drones in their pockets. Some of them are currently being used to give vital information in towards the building. And we see Sandy, the man who's been making quite a lot of disturbance for Kira Esports, and he needs to cause more disturbance once more. They want to get back themselves up in the lead. 4-2 again. And talk about Atharv. He's currently holding it in towards the main stairs. He has deployable shield. He has a lot of denials in his hand. He needs to be prepped and ready, or should I say, waste a lot of time for Monkey Hunters so that they couldn't progress in towards the building.
Time, exactly, Babagus. The time is something that Monkey Hunters will want to have a lot of, as he's going to take a bit of damage. That is probably from a vertical angle somewhere. Sandy's watching a different one, and he's going to find one. No rhymes with Buck with a beautiful shot. That is Sandy down. We all know Sandy has been very, very, very huge for Monkey Hunters on that Zofia with the LMG. But there's more to be done. Atharv, he's seen one right towards the art room, but it's gonna be Jittery. Oh, that was some good stuff right there. Both were ready with the trigger in their fingers, but it ended up being Jittery who wins that gunfight. Took a bit of damage, I will admit, but Atharv going down is also pretty big for the attacking team. That opens up the main stairs landing. They just need the clearance on Jaeger. Boku, who needs to go down, but Jittery's grenade will find rounds with Buck. That is another huge one. That's the smoke off the board as Boku hears the Ying coming in close, but of course he can't do much about it as shots will be fired towards him. But he has of course retreated since Envy goes down to Jittery as well. 4v2, Deathamar and Boku now the last one standing. Can they turn this round around? They will desperately need to. Beat expecting a reinforced wall right there, I think, or just using that as a distraction. He's gonna get a couple of Excar pellets on the wall, and the LMG of the Ying wins. Jaeger goes down, and it's all now up to Deathamar coming up the main stairs, having a bit of a lag issue as well, but he is still alive and functioning. That is what matters. The plan's going down. It's a 1v4. He's solo on HP, and he does not know that Sparko was inside of Study. So that will be one more round of the board from the side of from the side of Monkey Hunters. Despite the fact that they lost Sandy early, Jittery made sure that Jittery and of course the rest of the team alongside Rattler, alongside Sparko and Beat, made sure that things still went their way. Jittery just does not lose gunfights, man. It's either him or Sandy, or him and Sandy, who just completely demolishes enemy teams. Beat, Rattler, they chip in every now and again whenever they can, or I guess when they're allowed to, compared to those two in their team. Sparko usually is a little bit more quiet, more reserved, letting his teammates do the work for him, but don't count him out just because of that. Whenever he has his opportunities, he will take them with arms wide open. As a couple of 6-picks come in, one out into the Wamai, one out into the Nomad. And it's 4-2 now. Monkey Hunters huge lead into round 7.
Round 7, huge lead it is, Jack. 4-2, winning 4 attack rounds in the first half. They have to do the same on defense this time. We'll see some quite changes in the optics as well, as we see Sandy bring in the alibi. Most of the time you'd see Jittery bring in the alibi with the MX4 Storm 1.5x magnification scope. You see a change of ops, and also Jittery making a huge decision to bring in the Jaeger. Although yes, the carbine, which was nerfed off his recoil, will have to figure out a way. I wouldn't say figure out a way. Just even though if it is still nerfed, he is mainly used for intel denial, and that intel denial is none other than the ADSs. So without placing those ADSs, without having to deny most of the important utilities from the attackers, it's going to be even more tougher for the defenders if they don't worry about those. So bring in Jaeger is a good idea, as we see Atharv use the air jabs to place in right in towards the red stairs hallway to prevent any rotates happening right from the red stairs itself. So Deathamar currently in the window side of the reading room, or study room that is. We see one of the alliance scans coming in, and I believe Jittery will be detected. That will give them the information saying that one plays in towards the side. Currently, he will be, safe as of now, because that's exactly where the attackers needs to arrive. It's just that, that immediate information that was given from the Lion will be negated anyways. Talk about the Wamai's magnets. It will catch Death Armor's breaching charge. That is a huge one, especially mainly expected to catch flashbangs, but unfortunately it did not. Here comes the first frag from Jitri, taking out Envy. A 5v4, a huge necessary one at that. Knowing that Monkey Hunters is currently gaining momentum and Kira Esports is slowly losing most of their gunfights. And here comes an aggressive peek though. Looks like it was Death Armor and gets immediately denied from Jitri once more. Right from the same place yet again in the main stairs. Kira Esports making a bold decision of pushing in towards study room, and I think it wasn't a good idea, but they will shut down Chitri nonetheless, putting themselves in a 4v3.
Well, I guess better late than never to take Jittery off the board. Deathhammer, in the meanwhile, has disconnected. Unfortunate, but it is still a 4v3. Deathhammer, I believe he was already off the board when he disconnected. Hopefully, he can be back not too long from now, and we don't have to pause for too long. But regardless, the round is still ongoing. 50 seconds still remain. But there is a lot to be done for the attack. Kira Esports, you can see they are hesitant to make a push right now because any avenue they have tried has been shut down. You talk about balcony shut down by Jittery, and even if Jittery is, off the board, it doesn't matter. You still have other players to cover up for the fact. And then there's also Sandy watching from the long angle instead of landing, Redster's landing, that is. You have Sparko inside a vault. You've got Beaten Rattler just waiting as Rhymes with Buck wants to go in, and he will be able to. Sparko's very low on HP. Sandy's going to jump into action, but of course he's going to take damage doing that. Gashman goes off. Beat finds it down. A third goes down, and Sparko, Rattler, Sandy all together find a triple as they so desperately wanted to, and they will do so very, very well indeed. Kid Esports, we said, all avenues of entry, shut down, and now Monkey Hunters are one round away from the first map point.
And this is looking very good for Monkey Hunters. And talk about Kira Esports' push though. Second for AVG. Not quite sure what exactly Kira Esports was making a decision of going for a fully frontal push towards study room. You see all players from Kira Esports pushing in from study. Not a single resistance was being made in towards fountain. Not a single player was in landing zone. Not even on red stairs. Even if one attackers do decides to head in towards that particular place. So fully frontal push right from study, and they thought that they would have gotten at least one or two picks from the early kills, but it was Jittery who mainly halted that aggression and made sure that Kira Esports would stay put in the balcony side of study room. This actually did hurt a lot of potential from Kira Esports' push, knowing that they have to worry about opening up those walls. They had to worry about those deployable shields being placed from the from the hallway side. And even though Jittery was taken care of, the damage was done. It was just two players in the trade of one guy. So it was not looking too good for Kira Esports. And talk about Monkey Hunters though, 5 consecutive wins in a row. 4 wins on defense, 1 win, actually 4 wins on attack, 1 wins on defense, which was on second for AVG, and now they're almost on match point, I believe. It is 5-2. Just need 2 more rounds to secure the win on map Villa and proceed to map 2, which will be on Clubhouse. And I'd say Clubhouse is definitely not favoring Monkey Hunters at all.
Well, while of course, Clubhouse might not favor Monkey Hunters so much so, there's also the fact that Kid Esports haven't really been performing all that well. Their defense was, while decent in places, not decent consistently enough, to give them the round wins that they desperately needed. And a couple of rounds could have gone their way, definitely, had things been a little better from their side, but it simply was not. And I feel like even if they have a stronger, appreciation of Clubhouse than they have of Villa, given the way Monkey Hunters is playing, it's going to be tough. If they get pressurized, Kid Esports that is, going into map 2, their chances of winning become less and less the longer it goes on. like this. Of course, we are just still waiting for Deathamer to reconnect back as soon as possible. Feels like he might have a pretty relatively large issue, maybe not. Hopefully he can be back soon. That's what we're all hoping for, folks. As we all remember what happened yesterday. Like I said, let's not dwell on the past, but sometimes you gotta just call back to it every now and again. Remember, that things may or may not have been as good before. Yeah, but okay, I was about to go off on a philosophical tangent right there. Forgive me for that. But yeah, overall, I'd say Monkey Hunters are looking pretty good. They're looking decent, more so than decent. They're looking good. And on the other side, Kid Sports, they've looked good in instances, where they've pushed well or they've been patient enough to allow breathing room for themselves. But they haven't been doing that consistently, and that lack of consistency has been what has hurt them on Villa so far. Of course, it's a 5-2. It's not like it's a 7-2 or even a 6-2 for that matter. Map point has not yet been secured. Monkey Hunters are one round away from it. And if they manage to take map point, that's when we can start saying that Kid Sports might not actually win Villa. Until then, they've got a chance. It is, after all, 3 rounds that they have to play to equalize, and then they can go for the killing blow. Figuratively speaking, of course. Map 1 is still only map 1 of 3, so the killing blow will have to wait. But taking map 1 against Monkey Hunters, pretty big, all things considered. And that, of course, is something that Kid Esports will be very, very much aware of.
They have to be worried about Death Armor being picked off in the early rounds. I mean, like even on the first half as well, it was on round 4 and 5. I'm not saying that Death Armor has been picked off time and time again in the early rounds. It's just that in round 3 and round 6, Death Armor was the last man standing, and round 4 and 5, Death Armor was the one who got picked off on the early rounds. So talking about the way how the defense was happening on round 7 second floor APG, I believe that the Ash, if I just get the information just right, I believe that was either, you know, rhymes with Buck, I believe. Oh no, actually it wasn't. It was a Thurv who was playing as the Ash. Decides to just go, full on push right from that hallway. It's exactly where two of the players, on the side of Monkey Hunters, Jittery and Beat, I believe, was holding that particular angle. Ash just went so aggressive, knowing that you had to deal with Vomai's magnets as well as the Aegis ADSs. So the amount of protection that they have from main stairs was so good that even flashbangs wouldn't have worked out for them because they forgot to bring those in the op picks. They had explosives, but they did not have flashbangs to deny them. And talk about flashbangs, Jack. I just realized that in the next patch, we might be able to see a huge changes from the flashbangs where even though if you look behind, and even if you do see that flashbang icon being displayed from your UI, you will still be blinded no matter what, which gives a huge buff for the flashbang players. And mainly, I believe the main target for doing that is because they want to, give flashbangs a unique role, because flashbang is technically used to blind people, not take out ADSs. So they're just trying to give much more of a boost so that the players could use it to blind players more efficiently and make sure that they'll be able to get even better picks as best as possible. But that entirely changes the entire use of flashbangs immediately, because not only you have to forget about flashbangs, you have to be careful of uses cluster charges too. I mean, right from that reinforced wall, just expect 4 cluster charges arriving right from that particular place where most of the utilities will be expanded. So very excited for the next patch. But yeah, talking about the subject in hand, Monkey Hunters, very good lead, 5-2. 2 more rounds for them to secure their round against Kira Esports. And talking about their performances lately in their attack phase, it's just we don't get to see more split pushes happening lately from Kira Esports. I mean, it's just their first round on round 7. Maybe we might see some huge changes in round 8, being the site on second floor trophy and sanctuary room. Maybe they'll just make a decision to push in directly towards the aviators room and then slowly make their way to get the control on second floor sanctuary room.
Well, all things considered, despite whatever we may or may not see from Monkey Hunters or Kid Esports, little bit of an update about the game, folks. I believe we saw Deathamer reconnect very quickly and then disconnect as well. So I feel like it's a network issue that he is currently facing. A little bit of an inconsistency keeps coming and going. And in the meanwhile, Jittery has disconnected, which has put the status of the lobby up in the air because we all know what happens when it's a double disconnect. If Deathamer were to reconnect now, he'll be put in the blue team. And, well, obviously, he's not part of Monkey Hunters. He's part of Kita Esports. So that's, will have to be fixed with a full rehost because once he gets put in the blue team, every time he reconnects, he'll get put in the blue team regardless for whatever reason. And that, of course, is kind of weird. That will mean Jittery would have to reconnect first. They have to coordinate between each other. It's the whole thing as as it goes. So, yeah, right now, we're just gonna have to wait for these two to connect back, hopefully in order of Jittery first, then Deathamer to reconnect to Blue Team and Orange Team respectively, and then we can go back into round 8. Now, I like how you brought up the flashbang change that they are making, Baba. It is a system mechanic change that we've been looking forward to for a long time, and it definitely is going to make flashbangs a little bit more consistent. I do agree, but at the same time, when you think about it, right, when flashbangs do get the opportunity to actually be flashbangs and not just ADS fodder, people can look away at the right time or turn away or just duck behind a shield and still look away just a little bit, right, to save themselves from getting flashed. You can't actually do that anymore. The duration, you will still get fully flashed, just the duration is a little lower than if you were to get flashed face front. So while some might say that that's a good change, I'm not sure about that. You are still getting punished for having the right reaction to the flashbang. And I believe Pengu brought it up on Twitter already that it feels like you're getting punished despite having the right reflexes, which doesn't exactly feel all too good. And I feel, if I recall correctly, again, another test server change to this flashbang system was that the excuse me right there. The change to the flashbang system was that if you look away or the flashbang isn't directly at your face, then the duration is even lower, which might help alleviate some of that stress. As, oh dear me, seems like we have run out of the lobby pause. Yep, the lobby pause has run out. As we all know, for whatever reason, in online games, it's not an unlimited pause. It is only a 10-minute pause, which I believe is gonna have to be a full-blown rehost, ladies and gents. Oh boy, that is. I believe the admins were in talks with both teams in the meanwhile, to really figure out what is going on between Jittery, between Deathamer and all of that. So yeah, now it's a full-blown rehost, and we are gonna be here for, well, I guess quite a bit longer because now we have to get the lobby set up. We've got to get both teams back in and all of that stuff. And it's a whole thing. I kind of feel bad for the players and of course the admins and the production at the back end because now they have to do all of that over again. They've got to put the round history back in. They've got to put the op bands back in, and get the map set, get the names in. Carefully put in the rounds. You're like, okay, this was the site. This team won this site. All of that. Even if once the half passes, everything before that becomes irrelevant, other than the score, of course. So they would have to just put in 4-2 and just be done with it. But sometimes it's a little weird, that system. Even today, even to this day, that system's a little weird. So yeah, give us a little bit more time, folks. Bear with us. Issues like these are simply out of our hands, and more so, me and Baba are simply the messengers here. Don't shoot the messenger, as they said in that popular show earlier this year that I forget the name of. But yeah,
Mm.
yeah, we're gonna be here for a little while longer. Sorry about
Yep.
that.
Again, apologies for the viewers that they had to deal with certain issues like this, because I mean connectivity issues. I mean, we can't talk anything much more about it. It's just Jittery and Death Armor who just got disconnected both at the same time. Now with the rehost happening, it would take around like a total of 4 or 5 minutes at this point. So yeah, like we've talked much more about Monkey Hunters, knowing that they are in a very good lead, 5-2 against Kira Esports. But I do have to ask about the grand finals prediction, Jack. High five. They've defeated Valiance. They've defeated Team GG. They've defeated the Titans. of the South APAC region, Monkey Hunters, can they do it again by defeating MRCZ?
Oh boy, if you had asked me this question yesterday before the Monkey Hunters and High Five game, I would have probably told you that the chances were very slim to none, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, just 4-2 on the first half to Monkey Hunters, and then 5-1 to
Yep.
High Five on the second half. That final map, that comeback was just insane from High Five. They went from 1-4 to a 7-5. How do you do that? And unfortunately for Monkey Hunters, they just messed up so badly on the second half that it was like it wasn't even a competition after a point. There was so much momentum going the way of High Five that Monkey Hunters just could not catch back up, and they ended up here as the team going into the third place decider to see if they can bring things back for themselves, put themselves in third place at least, get a fair chunk of that prize pool, or will they get eliminated by Kida Esports and be reduced to fourth place? I guess we'll find out. But High Five, now that we've seen that game with the context of the game with Monkey Hunters, I would say that I don't know. I still feel like Mercenaries might just win it out. They feel confident. I mean, they were quite confident last night, but yeah. I don't know. We might end up seeing all 5 maps before we can come to a decision, and that, of course, would be huge. Seeing as that game is at 4 p.m., both me and Baba will have had plenty of time to really get ourselves awake. Like I said, we're still a little sleepy, as it were, even though it's past noon, and we really should be awake by now. That is just how we work, folks. We're kind of late sleepers, late to rise, and all that stuff. We don't get the early worm. No, we don't. As right now, the players are just joining in nice and quickly from both sides. So that's all we have to do now. We have to just wait, get them in, and we can get the match started again.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're waiting for, Jack. It's just, according to the lobby wise, it shouldn't be much of a problem where we see the players on the side of Monkey Hunters already joining in. And talk about Kira Esports, we're just waiting for them to arrive as well with the rehost. Now, I like again, we're just gonna take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. It's just gonna be around like 2 or 3 minutes, but we will definitely make sure that we will get the lobby up and running. So we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
The partnership with AMD has been great. In Far Cry 6, the team has built the most ambitious open world in franchise history, filled with lush tropical environments and decaying urban landscapes. To push the visual fidelity of our game and immersive gaming experience, we've been collaborating with AMD to implement next-gen rendering techniques like DirectX ray tracing and AMD Fidelity Effects features. When implementing these next-gen features, we were challenged because we want the majority of players to have an enjoyable, smooth experience without having to turn their settings down. Using upscaling technology like AMD Fidelity Effects Super Resolution helps us address this problem because it means more players can enjoy Far Cry 6 with their graphic settings cranked up and without compromising frame rate. FSR is a cutting-edge spatial upscaling solution. It's easy to integrate into our development pipeline, and it delivers substantial performance boost while retaining excellent image quality on the highest quality setting. Additionally, we believe AMD's GPU Open and the support for open standards and platforms drive innovation forward. We can't wait until October 7th when players will finally get the chance to see all the hard work we've put into Far Cry 6. It's very exciting that we're getting closer to showcasing to players the game, powered by the latest AMD technologies.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AMD, the Esports Club Challenger Series 1. Third place decided match supported by Ubisoft, here with their hosts Blackjack and Baba Gusta, as we are back with the first map of Villa between Monkey Hunters LFO and Akira Esports. That is right. Took us a while, but we are back. But some unfortunate news about the match, as we will go in, live, and all of our viewers will see exactly what the unfortunate news is. So let's just join the players, and we will explain when we get in there. Right now, in fact, round 8 will be underway, and as you can see in front of you, Deathmar has been not able to reconnect. And that, of course, means that Akira Sports has asked for a 4v5, and Monkey Hunters have agreed. The admins have talked to both sides. They have agreed as well. It's one of those unavoidable situations. Hopefully, Deathmar can be back for map 2, but unfortunately, he will have to sit out the rest of map 1. As Boku takes the 6th pick into the Amaru, a Nook is also being brought out by Kid Sports' attack, and on the other side, a Mozzie brought into play by a Monkey Hunters LFO. And all that being said, and that unfortunate piece of news out of the way, it is round 8, Monkey Hunters 1 round away from map point.
Again, I just feel so bad for Kira Esports. I mean, again, it's the weekend. Can't do anything much more about it, because Saturdays, Sundays, quite possibly the days where we, encounter a lot of connectivity issues, especially in the mornings itself. But I believe it shouldn't have more problems in the evening side. But still, feeling the loss of one of the players, and that too, it was that Amar, the man who was performing so well on defense, on the side of defense, playing as the Aruni, doing so much heavy work. Even at the early rounds where he picked out Sandy in the first round. Unfortunately, Kira Esports will be facing huge repercussions from this, as we hear the Garahok from Boku. He's definitely not wasting any time on getting into a particular place. He's the Kaid, and he's going to take out one of those players. A C4 on the side of Jittery to take out a Thurv. Flashbangs will come in from Rhyme to Buck as he decides to do exactly that. As Jittery comes in with the second. Can he get the third? No, it does not. The Amaru will take one. An immediate reflag will come in from Rattler, and with it we will see Envy, last man on the side of Kira Esports, figuring out a way to take out most of the players on the side of Monkey Hunters. He will be dealt with Sandy, the Aruni. He is who's currently holding up from the angles of Windows trophy entrance. And with Envy falling back, so there's nothing he can do at this point. He's solo on HP. He has 2 flashbangs where he could use the flashbangs to try to block lines of sight, or maybe try to blind the defenders so that he could arrive and get those kills. Now we will see some breaches been happening on the side of on the side of Kira Esports, and that would be Envy. The Excaros pellets doing its work, which would open up some lines of sight and provide some distractions for Monkey Hunters. It's just that they have good man count, and Envy is all by himself. He doesn't have any information via the attack drones. He doesn't, they have 4 drones in total. It's just that 4 drones are in the pockets. And Envy, I believe, has his drones. Yeah, one of the drones has been thrown out to a place where it's too late to recover it back. So not much information to go through for the attackers. And they can't be able to relay the information as well. So just Envy has to go according to his guts and see whether if he could feel it. But Sandy's going so near, and he will make sure that Envy won't be able to have a chance to make it clutch. And with that, we will see Monkey Hunters be in match point 6-2 as we proceed to round 9.
Very unfortunate right there for the side of Kira Esports. They had a pretty good aggressive start, but Monkey Hunters caught on nice and quickly, and now are looking to shut this map that is down as soon as possible. Monkey Hunters 6-2 map point to them, as they will go to dining room and kitchen. Boku with the Amaru once again. Might be 6 picked out. A third is going to bring in the Iana this time. Pretty good decision. No, wait a minute. Sledge is going to be 6 picked out. They do have the buck, so they still will have verticality regardless of whether or not Sledge stays. And there we go. Envy's going to bring in the Ash. Ella being brought in by Jittery in place of Jaeger in the meanwhile. Of course, we all know whenever Jittery brings in the Ella, you might want to be extremely careful for if you're, facing up against him. And that stands true even in this round. Sure, it's a 4v5. Kid Esports might not all be there, and Monkey Hunters, might not be trying as hard as they otherwise would have, but you still want to be careful against Jittery, that is for sure. As now the map point round 9, is underway.
6-2, Jack. Monkey Hunters looking so strong, even on the second half on defense. We'll see some changes in optics for now. We see Sparko bring in the Clash. We have Jittery bringing in the Ella. I believe a spawn peak might be in order because he's already doing exactly that. Jittery doing a spawn peak right towards Fountain, and he's decided to go ham right towards the laundry site. He will fall back nonetheless, providing huge distractions and also indicating for Kira Esports that, hey, sites on first floor dining and kitchen. Here you go.
Here you go indeed. C4 goes out, but that's not going to be found by anybody. Boku with the shotgun, however, is going to find Sandy. All right. Looks like the Supernova has found its first prey. Can it find a couple more as the drones will spot where these defenders are? Rhymes with Buck catches Sparko off guard, but Jittery's here. He has found one, and that is in view of the board. That's going to equalize it 3-3. But there is still so much that needs to be done from Kira's side. A man count equalizer is not good, especially given the fact that one of them is playing, while admittedly a dangerous shotgun, it's a shotgun nonetheless, and anywhere farther than 6 meters isn't going to be too good, but it won't matter as a beautiful coordination between the Buck and a Turf is going to see one more off the board. Beat has to be so careful right now. He's playing with a UMP, which means he will be, slightly disadvantaged against higher fire rate ARs. But there's Jittery. Oh, that's a good one from him. Rhymes with Buck's gonna go down, but there we go. Boku and a Turv coming with doubles for themselves. And that, of course, is going to give Kid Esports a round. What a round indeed. Feels like Monkey Hunters got a step ahead of themselves, and Kid Esports coordinated that beautifully, I have to say, especially on the final side entry. Despite losing bodies and being traded on, they did not give in, not in the slightest, and managed to win the round for themselves. It ain't over just yet, folks, as it is now 6-3 going into round 10.
Round 10, beautiful use of the shotgun there from Boku. The Supernova did found its prey after all. He needs to do it even more because Kira Esports, they have to win 3 attack rounds in a row. And I believe it's Rattler's time to bring in the Ella as he switches in from the mute. Jittery will, on the meanwhile, he'll just bring in the ADS Jaeger. Total of 3 ADSs. I just don't remember what is the full form of ADS. Is it auto defensive system, or is it a good system, I guess? ADS, a good system. You have those 3 gadgets to block. I mean, did I say it right? Auto defensive system. Is that the full form of ADS?
I believe that is, auto defensive system.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been a long while since I've heard, ADSs. So.
No, we say ADS all the time.
It's just that we don't know the entire full form of it, right?
I mean, I've known for a while now. I kind of assumed you did too. You actually didn't?
No, I didn't.
Huh. Professional commentators, folks.
Anyways, talking about the first frag, we will see Sparko get the first frag, taking out Envy. The Nook won't be available, but the Gara hook, Amaru, is still available. He is still currently right from downstairs. Not quite sure exactly what he's doing at this point, but still, he needs to get back on the top floor. Maybe he wants to have that element of surprise when that distraction would come in towards the study room. And here comes a total of 2 RCE Roteros. On the other hand, we see Rattler takes out Rhymes with Buck the shotgun, which will deal so much damage to Sandy. Whips out the C4, will try to detonate it, but Boku will survive nonetheless. Was waiting for yet another opportunity once more. Boku always loves to bring in the shotgun at this point. He even brought a shotgun for the castle, and now he brought a shotgun for the Amaru. And what will Kira Esports do, knowing that they've already lost over the players? Rhymes with Buck in Envy goes down. It is 5v2. Monkey Hunters slowly making their way, and looks like a Tharv is already so close into a statuary room. By opening up that barricade, he will give away the position for Monkey Hunters.
Well, not just the position, his life is going to go down as well. The knife from Sandy will be the confirmation. And with that, it is all up to Boku now with the shotgun in hand and a minute 13 on the clock. There's only so much he can do. Maybe, maybe Tarzan up one of the ooh, well, that's a range shot. That's a second one. All right, maybe he doesn't need the guard hook. That maybe all he needs is the shotgun. I digress, of course. He's going to have to get close to sight to do much about the situation he's found himself in. Oh, no, the cam. The cam had spotted the fact that there was going to be a push-up, and, well, that was called out and taken down as soon as possible as well. And with that, the first map has ended, and it is Monkey Hunters LFO taking a 7-3 on the first one. And as all the GHs fly out in the chat, that is going to be it for Villa. A little bit of an unfortunate end for Kira Esports, who had to take a 4v5 due to, connectivity issues from Death Hammer. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we will have a full 5v5 on the other side on map number 2. That is, of course, Clubhouse. Of course, we all love to see Clubhouse at this point. Better than Oregon, I mean, if you ask me. At least Clubhouse still offers a little bit of, how should I say it, a little bit of a change in how things are approached. There's a little bit more versatility. Oregon has just been played to death the same way over and over again, especially when it's, qualifiers or round of 32s and all of that stuff early in the tournaments where Oregon is picked just a ridiculous amount. And then it's just the same thing over and over and over and over. I think this point was made on social media just the other day when we were getting rumors of what was it, Consulate being replaced by the new bank. I believe CGG was talking about that, and then we had the whole discourse on whether or not some other map should be removed or should it be a 9-map pull system, all of that stuff. I personally am in favor of a 9-map pull system, but yeah. Just point notwithstanding, I'm just happy to not see Oregon, folks, especially right now, as I am still, it's still a little groggy from waking up and all of that stuff. I'm gonna need my third cup of coffee, I believe, just to get myself back on my feet for map 2. But yeah, enough about the weird facts of the day. Let us go into the highlights to talk a little bit more about the match that we just had. Baba Gusta, please take us through them.
Thank you, Jack. And talking about the first half, the Kira Esports was looking so strong. The two of those main anchors, Rhymes with Buck and Boku, good use of the SMG-11. And talk about Boku, he always has that element of surprise, bringing such bizarre operator packs. The shotgun in hand. Sometimes he brought the Jaeger with the shotgun. Sometimes we saw him bring in the Castle shotgun. And also, last but not the least, we saw him bring in the Amaru shotgun as well with the Supernova, which dealt some good damage, taking on both of those players. We see some incredible plays from Monkey Hunter's end as well, from Sandy's LMG. He always delivers such an amazing blow for Kira Esports, and also making sure that he would either get a huge man count advantage or try to recover it back. We all know that Sandy is an expert when it comes to making those incredible plays. That is the reason why you see, that's the main reason why you see Monkey Hunters have these amazing fraggers. I wouldn't say beat, I'd say Sandy and Chitri, these two frag players who's been making some very risky and aggressive plays, which always gets the job done from Monkey Hunters. And if that does not work, you have Beat with the hold. You have Rattler, who's most probably plays as a flex. Sometimes sometimes he might play as the fragger. Sometimes he might play as the support. And when he plays as a support, he does it excellently well. Talking about Kira Esports, though, Death Armor was mainly the one which was causing main problems for Monkey Hunters. And unfortunately, with that huge disconnect being happen around on rounds 8, I believe, couldn't get to join in. They had to, they had to attend a 4v5, and even with the 4v5, they did perform excellently well when Monkey Hunters decided to just go, full monkey mode. where unfortunately that did not work out quite well in their favor, that is. But yeah, Monkey Hunters, they'll be able to secure their first map win on map Villa. And the second map, I believe, will be none other than Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse, last time I remember, this was way back when that rework happened. I believe the construction building wasn't even a thing, because the attackers, however, they would get in, like the attackers would obviously have to worry about second floor gym. They had to open up the second floor site where they have instant access. They had to, they had instant access to go in for the plant and all that stuff, which is very difficult for the defenders to even contest the site. But with the rework, with construction building being brought up, this changes everything on map Clubhouse. And that's the main reason why you see Clubhouse being brought up. It's mainly because it's heavily balanced, because on second floor CCTV you can immediately rotate back quickly on second floor gym. The same thing can be said, even on the side on second floor gym too. So there is a much to talk about. And guess what, good news for us, ladies and gentlemen, we will immediately head back to our second map Clubhouse. So without any further changes, let's head back and resume match number 2, map Clubhouse. Monkey Hunters LFO on attack, Kira Esports on defense. And with that, we will start it off with the ban phase, as we will see Kira Esports banning the Jackal and the Thatcher on the side of LFO.
Well, I will say, I was about to, excuse me, I was about to start talking about this map just as you were about to end it off. Then we were like, oh, wait a minute, the match is already starting. A little unexpected for us too here, folks, as production just informed us while we were seeing the match go live on our ends as well. We were like, wait, what? But of course, that is just, a temporary moment of comedy, as they say, as we have the bans coming in from both sides on Clubhouse. Jackal, Thatcher, Valkyrie, stuff that is to be expected. Interestingly enough, Jackal has been getting banned quite a bit today. Not really sure what's up, but it seems like Kaid might not be banned because, of course, Maverick is available, and there are ways to take care of the Kaid Electroclaws, and it will be Malusi instead who gets banned. No Zofia ban, mind you, despite the fact that Monkey Hunters have 2 players who are absolutely amazing at Zofia. Sandy more so, he plays Zofia a little more often than Jittery, but regardless, those 2 are still here, and they are still going to be doing big work. Unfortunately, seems like it is still a 4v5 that Kid Esports have agreed to, and not going to be, excuse me right there, not going to be too good for them, as on the other side, Monkey Hunters have all 5 of their players live, connected and active, as they say, and now round 1 will be underway. If I sound a little distracted, it's because I wasn't necessarily prepared for us to go in as quickly like this, but it is still happening. We are here. Map 2 is live, with the Lion being 6-picked in by Rattler. Round 1 is now underway.
For a moment I thought that Amar immediately arrived to play on map Clubhouse, and we thought we were going to go in with a fully fledged 5v5. Man, not looking too good for Kira though, isn't it? 5v4, feeling the loss of Death Armor. They've made a decision to continue 5v4 once more. Boku will decide to bring in the dog this time, and a total of 3 stim pistols. Having that good sustain, knowing that we might expect to see a lot of spawn peaks, and when we see defenders going for a huge spawn peak, Doc is an excellent when it comes to, recovering back most of those HPs, which has been, taken when they try to, contest most of those gunfights. So Doc is an expert when it comes to that, but we all know that most of the Doc mains would prefer using the MP5 rather than using the GIGN shotgun, which in fact is one of the most devastating shotguns I've ever seen. It has such good power, and also has a higher potential to down a player either from mid-range. I believe it's more of like a chance, but I really don't think that shotguns can now deal more damage from mid-range. And talk about mid-range, we will see Invi gets taken care of immediately. I believe that was from Beat who got that first frag. We're talking about the shotgun meta that we had. The only shotgun that can, that has good long range would be none other than the Boss G. But wait a minute, we see a Thurb quite aggressive right from the main stairs. But I believe he's trying to get much more control. But we all know what's going to happen next. Sandy and Rattler will take out two of the players, and Rhymes with Buck gets taken care of quite easily in the hands of Pete, as we will see Monkey Hunters gets their first win on the site.
Well then, yeah, not exactly the best start for the side of Kid Esports, is that. Not sure what Rhymes with Buck was up to, just standing there instead of Jim. But on the other side, the rest of the team at least, gave it a shot. As I get it, it's a 4v5 situation. Winning is probably not in question. Just taking rounds is probably the thing that you want to do. But if you have like your Echo just standing there inside a site, that's not going to be too good now, is it? I think we can all agree on that. As Rattler is going to take the 6th pick in the meanwhile, out of the Lion into 0. Sam Fisher brought into play for the second round. As is that a castle with a shotgun? That is indeed. And in the meanwhile, we have Rhymes with Buck still just standing around, evaluating his life choices or, I don't know, his game choices, something. He's doing something, I guess, that does not involve using his keyboard or his mouse, I guess. I mean, he could be using his keyboard. He could be, tapped out, typing some important messages for all we know. But, now's not the best time to do it now, is it? But, we're just going to leave him be, let him have his introspective moment as he wants to. As in the meanwhile, the rest of Kid Esports are just, setting up. Mira brought into play to watch blue. One into blue, one looking out towards church. And, of course, we're going to have Aruni with the Surya Gates and Castle. Boku, once again with the shotgun. Castle, of course, you generally see him for extended roam holds and all the like. But looks like in this situation, Castle is simply going to be used for some utility consumption from the side of the attack. Not much more than that. Rattler, oh boy, he has got the he's got the cyber hollow right there on the Sam Fisher gun, the SC3K, and SC2K, I think that is SC2000. We can't exactly see the name here on the on the UI, but yeah, SC2K with the cyber hollow. Always love to see it. Although that hollow isn't exactly the most beloved of all the weapon attachments, sight attachments, that is, in the game. But regardless, verticality will be established by Sandy nice and quickly. And oh dear me, a Thurb caught in a corner. There goes Envy. 2 down. And Boku, unfortunately, shotguns do not work at that range, especially the 1014. And once again, Rhymes with Buck is still contemplating his life choices. I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what Kid Esports are up to. Monkey Hunters 2-0 up.
I mean, we do know what's going to happen, right, Jack?
I mean, the rate they're going, yeah, we know exactly what's about to happen.
I mean,
all of the folks in chat know what's about to happen. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Rhymes with Buck at this point, he's just, I mean, like, I totally understand what's happening on between Kira Esports. I mean, Death Armor, being disconnected. Previous match against MRCZ, they didn't had even though they didn't had a fair match as well. At the beginning, they decided to go in for a 4v4, but yeah, it's just don't get me wrong. I feel bad for Kira Esports that they had to go through all this, and man, it's just there's nothing else that I have to say in this in the second map, Jack. I know it's 3rd place decider and Monkey Hunters. They're just, trying to, end this once and for all. It's just that, there's nothing more that I can say at this point. Connectivity issues, power cuts. It's the most main problems that all players, casters, broadcasters have to go through. And it's always up to those points. I mean, it's mainly because of the pandemic that we all had to go through. I mean, pandemic is the main reason why we had to, go and, host online tournaments, in which, in fact, most of it, does go well in other teams' favor. It's just that like it is bound to happen. It is bound to happen sooner or later, and cannot do anything much more about it. Talk about round three. Again, basement site being church and arsenal room. We see Boku at least bringing in the Tuchanka, and we all know what's going to happen next. Rattler will come in to take out Envy. A Tharv in towards the tunnel side, hoping that he might be able to get a spawn kill. And Boku with the deployable shield having Shumika launchers right from the main stairs, contesting the angle. But interesting enough, we will see Sparko being caught up from that damage. And we all know that a Tharv was holding it in towards the tunnel side will get one. Beat comes in with an instant refrag, taking out Rhymes with Buck and Boke in the hands of Rattler. The last player would be none other than a Tharv in towards the tunnel side. A minute and 57 seconds left, and LFO will win round 3 easily.
Yeah, like you said, Baba, not much can be done about the situation we found ourselves in. We can just go on with the match and get this done as soon as possible. Monkey Hunters now 3-0 up, and not much to say about Kida Esports, really. They're just kind of going through the motions, clearly, as I don't think they see much of a point in fighting back. I'm not sure. But again, the way that they're playing kind of implies that, that they just want to be done with this, and Deathmer, not being here is definitely hurting them for that matter. And Monkey Hunters are just vibing around the map. They know what the deal is. They know what it's like. Okay, yep, sure. You guys want to do that, we'll do us, and we'll be done with this as soon as possible. Round 4 will now be underway with the dock being brought in by Boku. Expect a shotgun once again, folks, as now round 4 sees us go to CCTV and Cash Room. Revolver out from Boku already. I didn't catch whether or not he has the shotgun. He probably does. But of course, on the other side, we have the Goyo in play. Without a Jaeger, without a Wamai. Okay, then. As, all things considered, all that's left for Kid Esports is to just, I don't know, try and take an early pick or two, try and maybe get a couple of rounds, and then just be done with this match ASAP. Probably have other commitments to go deal with, and all that stuff that were probably put on hold. I mean, it's a Sunday. I don't know what these players could have had going on the other side, on their ends, but you never know. So some of them could have some actual work to do or other stuff to take care of. It's a whole thing. And as you can tell, we're also, like me and Baba, we're also just kind of going through things as, oh dear me, Rhymes with Buck will actually find one. That is Sandy off the board. Envy goes down to Rattler. I think double spawn peak, and Envy unfortunately caught the bad end, the short stick of the spawn peaks. And Rhymes with Buck on the other side definitely did some good old work, as they say. Finding Sandy is always nice. Sandy is a pretty good player, and he is one of the big playmakers that Monkey Hunters boasts of. Boku's going to find Rattler, no shotgun in fact, as the dock comes in, takes one, and falls right back into sight. Now it's a 3v3.
Well, 3v3 it is. And with the succession of blowing up the walls in towards CCTV, now we have to see whether Kira Esports have got what it takes to defend the site. Good thing we will see Rhymes with Buck coming back in round 4. Bring in the Goyo with that grenade to make sure that he'll be able to take out a third of a beat with a good grenade. Having a Jaeger with that deployable shield must have been even more, it would have been, they would have had good, pressure at this point, but we will see some aggressive push coming in from Rhymes with Buck. He will take out Beat to find 2 more players, and that will be Sparko going in for that refrag. Boku will be the last man standing. He has the MP5 in hand, and he needs to find, actually not the MP5, the MP3 I believe, MP4. It's just so 1v2.
Are you just going through file formats right now?
No, I'm not going with file formats.
I mean, MP3 and MP4 are file formats.
Here's the thing. We have a lot of MP5s, all right? We have the MP5 SD, we have the MP5K, and also the third, the one which is, which...
The MPX.
MPX, yes. I almost forgot to say that it was MPX. So MPX from the dock, right?
No. Dock and Rook were the original MP5 holders.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just like it's a lot of confusion happening between the MP5s. You have the Echo with the MP5 ST, which has the which has the integral suppressor on it, which is a very good gun.
Yeah, that's
good
Echo,
fire rate. ACOG's sight way back when Echo was introduced, and it was considered to be one of the most dangerous guns for the defensive side, many of them would prefer to use Echo, even with that huge buff being made to yokai drones and also a huge change in denial, which was heavily being used around. And yeah, I believe that was, yeah, it is MP5 again. I had to just clarify myself once. It's not the MP3 or the MP4. It's MP5. And yeah, talk about Kira Esports. I mean, we all know what's going to happen next. I mean, it's just huge disconnects been happening around between Kira Esports and Monkey Hunters. They just want to get this match done and dusted.
I mean, to be fair, Boku has just gone to take care of a little uniform situation that he, I think he forgot to swap out and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it seems like, in the meanwhile, it seems like, yeah, what Sparko and Rattler, they were just, pointing out in the chat that, hey, you got that, you're not supposed to have that, you probably want to change that. And Boku was like, okay, fine, I'll go change it. That's why we have the pause, folks. Just give him like a minute, a minute and a half, and he'll be back, and we'll be back in with the match. Hopefully, it's not going to take too long, unless, of course, he has other uniforms and other operators. That's probably going to take a little longer. Yeah, we don't really know, but yeah, we're just going to have to get him back as soon as possible,
Yeah.
because we can't exactly delay for too long and all that. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long to remove those uniforms. I mean, if you're gonna play a competitive match, you should have those removed, unless there's some of the approved, pro league uniforms and sets and all that. That's fine. Everything else, it goes as is. As the admins are also gonna just have a reminder that yeah, we gotta get this done quick, folks. As like we said, it was an early start today, so it is still relatively early, so to speak. If this were a normal day of evening broadcast, I would just be waking up right now. It's a Sunday after all, but I guess Sundays don't really hold much meaning when your entire work is from home, regardless of global conditions. uh so yeah, that's about it. So if you're wondering why we're not analyzing the match itself, there isn't much to analyze. I mean, what do you want us to say? Monkey Hunters are just doing the standard clubhouse attack stuff.
Okay.
So Rhymes with Buck and a Turf just left. Oh,
I guess we're going in for a rehost. That's what my
I'm
main guess is at this
I
point.
I'm not even sure what's going on anymore, folks. Uh
Hmm.
Right, we're gonna have to get some admin confirmation about this. And now Beat has left as well. Something's up. Something
Something's
major
up. Yeah,
has
something's
happened.
up.
Yeah, something major has happened. I don't know if we can call for a break or something, because we need to talk to the admins to really know what the heck is happening. So once we get the clear from production, I guess we'll have to go into a break before we, get the admins in the call and is like, wait, what is happening, guys? Somebody tell us something or the other.
I mean,
But
at this point, we don't have any information at this point, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, currently, admin is just trying to figure out what exactly is happening between Kira Esports and Monkey Hunters, and I believe that having some information in between. Looks like the entire lobby is empty now, and we just have to go in for a rehost again. Again, apologies for the viewers who had to wait for a lot of minutes, and also us back at the caster scam where we mostly talk about the music formats instead of talking about the name of the weapon. But still, we have currently no idea what's happening, and
okay then.
we just got the information from our broadcaster Sean that it is a forfeit from Kira Esports. Yeah, it's a forfeit from Kira Esports. I mean, like, we knew it was bound to happen. We already saw like round five, Monkey Hunters LFO. They were just taking their sweet time. I wouldn't say their sweet time. They were just doing what they were doing best. And also when, yeah, even with the changes of the uniforms, they just decided to forfeit. It's just unlucky at this point for Kira Esports.
Hey.
Like, most of the players would understand saying that, hey, Kira Esports had a lot of subs. What happened to the subs? Well,
We don't know.
we don't know. That's the first thing. Second, they like even the subs themselves, they said that they have issues of power cuts and connectivity issues, knowing that in Kira Esports there's a total of 7 players, I believe, and in which 5 of them are the main rosters and the other 2 are subs, in which the other 2 subs, I believe one of them was Boku and the other player is currently having some major issues. So yeah, I mean, at this point I feel really bad for Kira Esports that they couldn't get to compete very well, even on the semifinals where they had to go up against MRCZ, even with now in the third place decider that they had to go up against Monkey Hunters. Although the first half was very interesting, I'm not gonna lie, the map on Villa was very interesting to look at, but yeah, man, it's sad to see Kira Esports having so much issues on their end. They still try to attempt a 4v5 in the second half, but at this point, all hopes are lost for Kira Esports. They tried their best. They couldn't do anything. And that too in a game of Siege. 4v5 means like 4v5 means an instant defeat, no matter what. I mean, yes, in other games you could try to make an incredible clutch like a 1v3 or a 1v4 continuously, but what's the point when you don't have an entire team who had to go up against themselves? And quite possibly when it comes to a competitive match like this, you need to have teammates to have that good coordination. Without that coordination, we won't see some amazing performances being displayed. 5 players, the teammates who would support the back end of the fraggers, who would give not only just information but also throwing flashbangs to provide support. You have covers being made. Providing cover for the fragger is also considered as a support. And if that isn't there, and if the fragger doesn't have hopes and dreams to make that clutches happen or aces happen, it's no point of you know contesting the 45 match in the first place. But yeah, sad to see that the Kira Esports couldn't get to compete much. I hope that in the next series they would come back stronger. Please, Kira Esports, if you're watching the stream right now, please don't get sad. Like everyone, like every fans on the side of Kira Esports is very sad at this point. Hopefully they would get their issues resolved in the next tournament. Hopefully we get to see Kira Esports come back stronger. But we all know what's going to happen next, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Monkey Hunters. They will secure their spot, third place. And I believe that the next match, which would be the grand finals best of 5, MRCZ versus Team High 5 in a best of 5 match. What are your thoughts about that, Jack?
Well, that's going to be a very interesting one for sure, Baba. I believe High 5 versus Mercenaries. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Unfortunate that the third place match had to end the way it did, but it simply has. Grand finals are, according to what I have been told earlier this morning, is about at 4 p.m. IST, so there's a few hours to go. There'll be a full stream dedicated to that as well, which means that is it for this one. So that has been it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host, Bobby Costa, here at the AMD Esports Club Challenger Series 1, supported by Ubisoft. Third place, Monkey Hunters, LFO. Congratulations, boys. And, we hope to see you guys, maybe in the top 2 next time. But we'll see that next time. And we'll see the finals in a few short hours. Until then, stay tuned.
The partnership with AMD has been great. In Far Cry 6, the team has built the most ambitious open world in franchise history, filled with lush tropical environments and decaying urban landscapes. To push the visual fidelity of our game and immersive gaming experience, we've been collaborating with AMD to implement next-gen rendering techniques like DirectX ray tracing and AMD Fidelity Effects features. When implementing these next-gen features, we were challenged because we want the majority of players to have an enjoyable, smooth experience without having to turn their settings down. Using upscaling technology like AMD Fidelity Effects Super Resolution helps us address this problem because it means more players can enjoy Far Cry 6 with their graphics settings cranked up and without compromising frame rate. FSR is a cutting-edge spatial upscaling solution. It's easy to integrate into our development pipeline, and it delivers substantial performance boost while retaining excellent image quality on the highest quality setting. Additionally, we believe AMD's GPU Open and the support for open standards and platforms drive innovation forward. We can't wait until October 7th when players will finally get the chance to see all the hard work we've put into Far Cry 6. It's very exciting that we're getting closer to showcasing to players the game, powered by the latest AMD technologies.
I'm running out of time every day.